Why am I in Irvine, California, of all places, to take wildlife photos? Well, because I actually can. OM System recently released the new M.Zuiko 100 to 400 millimeter f5 to 6.3 IS Mark II lens, and I've brought it along with the OM-3 to a wildlife oasis in the middle of a bustling California city. Let's find out if the lens is worth buying or upgrading. Hello, I am currently in Irvine, California on a business trip. Forgot my razor, so I'm looking a little scruffy. But while I'm out here, taking the time to visit the San Joaquin Wildlife Sanctuary. Now, this is hidden in plain sight in the middle of Irvine, California. It's at least a square mile, probably more. Lots of trails, lots of ponds, lots of wildlife. But these are great places, especially if you are wanting to improve your wildlife photography skills, especially birding. Things like this refuge or preserves or any kind of riparian type of area in the suburbs or in the cities is an amazing place. It is literally an oasis in the middle of suburbia. The San Joaquin Marsh covers more than 300 acres with 12 miles of walking trails, multiple ponds, and lots of wildlife. Many locals take advantage of this wonderful outdoor experience, which tends to be busier in the morning and not many joggers this late in the day, so I feel like I have the whole place to myself. So because I am traveling light, it's the advantage of Micro Four Thirds. Small, compact. I've got the new OM-3 and the new 100 to 400 millimeter f5 to 6.3 IS Mark II. I'm going to put it through its paces. It's nice as it's light, right? So easily fits in a backpack or a carry-on, and it'll get me full frame equivalent of 200 to 800 millimeter, which is going to be perfect for getting birds on these ponds. The one pond I'm going to visit is frequented by black skimmers and terns, western grebes, and a variety of other bird species, so hopefully I'll get lucky. And some of these birds are definitely a distance away, so the 800 millimeter will come in handy for sure. Other critters you'll find out here, squirrels, rabbits, coyotes, but we're looking for birds. This wildlife sanctuary has a common feature many have, and that is these raptor platforms. And as with many of these locations, the primary user is the osprey. These birds are found all across the United States, and in the last few weeks I've come across them in Florida and here in California. In both states, they tend to live year-round. Near my home in Arizona, they migrate or spend the winter, while some northern and southeastern states are breeding grounds. This amazing bird is a joy to photograph, especially while hunting, but can be quite a challenge. They can perch for endless amounts of time, so patience is a necessity. And when searching for fish, they can be at a distance from the shore, which requires long glass. When gliding in the right light, those M-shaped wings make for a great image. Now the new OM 100 to 400 IS Mark II lens has new optical coating. It now features Sync IS with the body. You get 7+ steps of synchronization on its own. It increases up to 4.5 from I think 3 on the original. Has an IPX1 weather sealing, a full black matte finish, and a redesigned tripod collar that is removable or easily removable. Along with the longer Arca-Swiss compatible foot, an advantage of the new lighter weight tripod collar on this lens is that it can be removed without detaching the lens from the camera. With a turn of the dial, okay, several turns of the dial, well, admittedly, a hell of a lot of turns of the dial, it can be removed with one hand, as seen here. You probably can't tell from this wide angle that there is a small island in the middle of this pond that is teeming with birds. Shooting from this spot, even with 800 millimeter full frame equivalent, would be pointless, so I scouted around and found a closer vantage point. I always recommend doing some reconnaissance at a location before you start taking images to ensure optimum conditions. A common resident in many lakes, ponds, and similar habitats is this pied-billed grebe, a breeding adult indicated by the white beak and black stripe. He seems to be enjoying a leisurely swim, while on shore it is bustling with activity. Among the ducks, cormorants, Canada geese, and even pelicans, the main inhabitant is the Caspian tern, which is the largest tern on the planet and a brilliant fisherman. In addition to the size, the main difference between the Caspian tern and the common tern is leg color. Caspian adults have black legs while common terns have orange legs. The 100 to 400 millimeter and the OM-3 do a pretty good job of keeping focus, although it did seem to have a little trouble due to all of the subjects. Admittedly, I'm not the best videographer and need to revisit my settings to determine if the issue is with the camera or the operator. Most likely it was the operator, as I wasn't expecting to take as much video and may not have had the correct subject detection selected. But we learn from our failures, not our successes, and the next chance I get, I will be using the excellent customization options with the OM-3 to create video-specific settings. With the new still, video, and S&Q dial, the OM-3 allows me to create and save up to 5 custom modes for stills and video, specifically using the better 10-bit codec if I want. Most of the footage in this video is using the 8-bit custom cine mode, and while it's adequate, I think I'll be sticking with the 10-bit video moving forward. Capturing the terns fishing is a fun and challenging exercise, especially with so many flying around. It can be quite daunting deciding what to shoot, but I suggest spending some time observing their behavior and singling out individual birds, tracking their movements, and anticipating if they will be attempting to catch a fish. These birds actually perform the same method when just getting a drink and can consume both fresh and sea water due to their nasal glands that excrete the excess salt. So far, I do like the feel of the OM-3 with the 100 to 400, especially with the third-party grip on the OM-3. Makes for a very nice balance and handling. Like I said, I really enjoyed this lens. I know some people say it's not that sharp. I think it's very sharp under the right circumstances. Yeah, you need lighting. Get lighting. For the price, for the range, for the ability, for the size, I think it's a great lens. As a nature and wildlife photographer, your head should be on a swivel and always checking your peripheral vision. While concentrating on the terns, this western grebe floated into view. Even though it was in the shade, I quickly turned the video dial and started recording. It was so seamless to switch back and forth between stills and video without worrying about adjusting settings while the bird would float in and out of good light. I just love this new dial on the OM-3. Common in this area, the western and Clark's grebe often get confused because both have a black crown, white neck, and those striking red eyes. But the black plumage on the western grebe falls below the eyes but stays above the eyes on the Clark's grebe. These grebes are known for their unique courtship displays called rushing, where they seem to run across the water side by side with their necks in a curved S shape. Now, I've tried to capture this multiple times at multiple locations with no success. The birds were either too far away or just not into it. One thing I love about nature and wildlife photography is that every day is a new opportunity and you never know exactly what you're going to get. This female was soon joined by a male and they moved off into the pond. And as I watched them, they turned and faced each other, and I realized they may not be the only ones getting lucky today. It might finally be my turn. So I turned the dial back to stills and I was finally able to capture this event. They face each other, turn their heads side to side and then up and down, and then they're off. The 100 to 400 millimeter Mark II with the OM-3 handled this wonderfully and kept the focus lock as they moved across the water. Even when a bystander floated by, it remained locked on the main subjects. This continued for a bit until the male finished first. Typical, right, ladies? The pond soon returned to normal and I was thrilled with the results. But this guy seemed to have been embarrassed by the whole display. My attention turned to some Canada geese, and then a flyby from a black-crowned night heron and a green heron. Now, should you upgrade? That's up to you, really. This is a lens I use a lot. I really like this lens. So I'm upgraded it. I have upgraded. I have purchased it. because I want those new features, because I use this lens a lot. If you don't use this lens that much, probably not worth the upgrade. If you don't have this lens and you want it, I would get the new one over the old one, just my opinion. Remember, results vary. I am not responsible for the results in your specific situation. But for me, upgrading this lens was the right thing to do. Throughout the afternoon, these little tree swallows filled the air around me, darting back and forth, catching gnats and other small bugs. As anyone who has tried to photograph these little Spitfires knows, it can be quite difficult as they are small, fast, and chaotic flyers. The 100 to 400 millimeter Mark II not only did a great job with perched birds like this male, but when the mother came by to scold him to get off the damn couch and go get a job, the lens at least was up to the task. As the sun began to dip in the sky, this larger male landed nearby, giving me an opportunity to display the sharpness and detail that can be achieved with this lens. But I couldn't just let these little birds continue to taunt me, so I attempted to capture them in flight. These images were taken wide open between 1/2000th and 1/3200th of a second, and I think the new 100 to 400 lens did an amazing job. I was pleasantly surprised by the amount of keepers I ended up with, and the focusing was fast and on point. I mean, the details were there, as were the colors. I started to lose light, and it was time to begin the long walk back to the hotel. Then this little guy caught my eye, and I turned the dial to video to record a bit of his dinner. The added Sync IS with the camera body provided improved stability while hand-holding in this lower light, and again, another reason this new lens should be a consideration. But be aware that Sync IS only works with compatible OM System and Olympus bodies. The lens is compatible with the MC14 and MC20 teleconverters, giving you a magnification of 1.4 and 2 times respectively, and a maximum length of 1600 millimeters at the long end when using the MC20. But the fastest aperture becomes f13, so I don't use those much with this lens. I do use them a lot with the 40 to 150 millimeter f2.8 Pro. I'm very happy with the results I'm getting from this new lens, and as a nature and wildlife photographer who uses OM gear, this is a no-brainer for me personally. I mean, it fits my shooting style, and especially fits my budget. This video is not sponsored. I am not an OM ambassador, but I am now an OM affiliate, so some of the links in the description are called out as affiliate links, and if you are interested in purchasing OM gear, please use these links as it helps the channel. All gear I use is either purchased or rented by me, and OM System has no influence on what I say about it. If I don't like something, I'll let you know. I hope you found this video helpful, and if you did, please like and subscribe. If you are a city dweller, look and see if you have a wildlife sanctuary or preserve nearby. Even if you aren't an avid photographer, they are great places to just walk, relax, and recharge while being surrounded by the wonders of nature.